Evans, your physician assistant, speaker, and coach, bringing you greetings from the beautiful and hot Charleston, South Carolina, here with your midweek motivation to help you get unstuck and create a life you don't have to escape from. So I'm actually out on my porch because what I want to talk to you about today is boundaries. Oftentimes when I'm talking to patients, even though I am not a therapist, I'm talking to them about creating boundaries in their lives because I hear so many stories and complaints about people, whether it's family or friends or coworkers. And the best analogy that I've heard yet today about boundaries used a house as an example. So think about it. So if you're on a porch, like I'm standing on the porch, that's how you walk up to the house. So you have the yard has a fence. There's the space beyond the fence. Then there's the yard within the fence. There's the porch, and then there's into the house. And I'll even take it a step further and say into the bedroom as well. So in life, there will be people that you will see from afar on the other side of the fence. Those people you wave to, you say hello, keep it cordial, keep it moving. And then there will be people who are in your yard. Maybe they're walking by and they stop to chat and you open the gate and say, hey, come in for a second and, just stand here and talk. And you're just talking about maybe just some trivial things, nothing too saucy, just kind of light. And then you have the people that you actually bring onto your porch. Now, if you step onto somebody's porch, then chances are that means you kind of like that person, right? Because you're close to that door. But they're on the porch and it's not just surface conversation that you're having, but you may have more meaningful conversation and even enjoy the company of that person sitting on the porch. It actually reminds me of when I was a little girl and my great grandmother would sit on the porch and people would come over and just sit on the porch and they would talk. Didn't necessarily go into each other's houses, but they would sit on the porch and talk, oftentimes encouraging each other. Now, when you move beyond the porch and you cross that threshold into somebody's house, into their personal space, that's a different story because usually that's where you are vulnerable. You don't sit in your house and worry about what you're saying and how it looks to other people. You are free to be yourself. So the people who are with you in your house are people who you don't feel will judge you, or people that you feel safe to share and know that any feedback that they give you will be given in love and for your betterment. Those are the people you keep in the house. And when I said add a bedroom to it, there's a second part of that. And one thing that I didn't say is it's like a funnel. So from the space across the fence, the yard, the porch, the house, and into the bedroom, that's a smaller and smaller group of people. And in the bedroom, you may only have one or two people. And again, this is an analogy, not like literally one or two people in your bedroom, but people who you allow close to the space that's in your heart. The problem is when we don't erect proper boundaries or we don't enforce those boundaries, we have the people that have the influence of the ones that we should be keeping on the other side of the fence. We're bringing them into our house, right? And then we're getting these mixed messages and we're getting confused, we're getting frustrated, and that can cause a lot of trouble and can actually cause your anxiety to get worse, can cause you to feel bad about yourself, feel bad about the decisions that you're making. So getting unstuck, part of that is recognizing who do you want to have in your corner? Who's your support system? Who are your cheerleaders? Who are your coaches? Those are the people that you should have at least on your porch, and some of them even in your house. And listen, it's a privilege to invite somebody into your house. When I'm talking to my patients and they're telling me about these conversations that they're having with people and how people are putting them down, attacking their character, making them feel bad about themselves, my question is, how long are you going to invite these people in your house? Okay, I hear you. So somebody says, so what if they already live in your house? What if they already live in your house? When I grew up, I heard a phrase called blood is thicker than water, which basically means that families stick together no matter what. But I propose to you, what if that blood is toxic? In medicine, we call that septic. And that can kill you instantly, like really quick. If you have bacteria in your blood, that can make you really sick and your demise can be here before you know it. So sometimes we have people in our family that are blood that are toxic to us. And it is okay to put boundaries up. I'm a huge proponent of therapy and counseling. So if you're in a situation where you have toxic people inside of your house already, I would encourage you to reach out and get some help and talk to a therapist and talk to a counselor about how you can navigate those situations, because unfortunately, if they're not handled, it just continues to be a cycle. And oftentimes children are in these environments, and it continues to be a cycle with them when they leave the house and go out into the world and enter somebody else's house. So I just wanted to come today with some midweek motivation talking about boundaries, because I hear it and see it so many times. Once you have boundaries in place, life becomes much more simple, because you can freely decide who you want to open the gate for, who you want to open the door for. And again, people should earn the right to come into your house. And I'm talking about the inner house is that I'm referring to. So hopefully this helps somebody today. Boundaries can be a little bit scary, and you can often feel confused when you're first starting to implement boundaries. You may think you're being a little bit rude or a little bit mean, but ultimately it's about protecting your peace and getting unstuck so that you can live a life that you don't have to escape. Don't let nobody run you out your house. All right. See you next week. Bye.